Alcoholics Anonymous was founded by Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob Smith. The introduction to their book is called The Doctor's Opinion. The message here is given to us from Dr. William Silkworth, the chief physician at a major hospital. Silkworth spent years specializing in treating alcoholics, often with little success. He describes meeting Bill and hearing of the plan to begin the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, saying that more than 100 alcoholics had recovered from this fellowship at the time of writing. These were not just any problem drinkers, but the type that Silkworth says all traditional methods failed to help. He says that the spiritual program of action in AA is not only effective but rapid, and he recommends that other medical professionals take a look at it. The medical opinion of Dr. Silkworth is that the body of an alcoholic is just as abnormal as his mind. These men were not simply maladjusted to life, nor were they outright mental defectives or in full flight from reality. While these things were true, they were also deeply and profoundly sick. Dr. Silkworth describes the alcoholic's response to a drink as an abnormal reaction, much like an allergy. Though the program of AA is a spiritual one, severe alcoholics may require medical treatment because the brain must be cleared before a person can understand the path they are being asked to follow. Dr. Silkworth says that the medical profession has long known that moral psychology is essential to the treatment of alcoholism, but few understood how to apply principles that did not easily fit in a modern scientific understanding. Silkworth describes having Bill at his hospital and watching him tell the other alcoholic patients about his newfound path to spirituality. The key, says Silkworth, is their unselfishness and reliance on a higher power which pulls chronic alcoholics back from the gates of death. The doctor says that alcoholics, and only alcoholics, get a craving for liquor so profound that he calls it an allergy. Once a person crosses the line into alcoholism, they can never safely consume alcohol again. Their problems pile up on them and become astonishingly difficult to solve. As loved ones can attest, frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. The message which can interest and hold these alcoholics must have depth and weight and must be rooted in a power greater than themselves. Perhaps medical scientists would think Dr. Silkworth has gone soft, but he says they probably don't understand the pain of watching these men and their families suffer. He has found nothing has contributed to helping alcoholics get sober more than this unselfish movement. Why do men and women drink alcohol? Essentially, they drink because they like the effect produced. For an alcoholic, that means they drink to get drunk. This feeling is so elusive to them that eventually they can no longer distinguish the true from the false. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontent unless they can again experience the sense of ease and comfort which comes immediately after having a few drinks. But once they give in and take a drink, the phenomenon of craving develops, leading to a spree, emerging remorseful, with a firm resolution not to drink again. This is repeated over and over, and unless this person can experience an entire psychic change, there is very little hope of his recovery. This may sound absurd, but once a psychic change has occurred, these very same people who seemed doomed, who had so many problems that they faced despair, thinking that they would never solve them, find themselves easily able to control their desire for alcohol. The only thing necessary is following a few simple rules. Dr. Silkworth is humbled by his own inadequacy. He and other medical professionals have been baffled by these kinds of drinkers. He believes that something more than human power is needed to produce the essential psychic change. The reason for this is that most severe alcoholics do not respond to ordinary medical treatments. Dr. Silkworth disagrees with other doctors who believe that alcoholism is simply due to a lack of willpower. He says that some are completely devoted and focused at work or other areas of their lives, but control breaks down when it comes to drinking alcohol, often at the worst possible times. These men are not drinking to escape. They were drinking to overcome a craving beyond their mental control. This problem is so demoralizing that some take their lives rather than continuing to fight. Categorizing different alcoholics creates confusion. Some show remorse and make a resolution to quit, but never follow through with that decision. Others refuse to admit they have a problem. Such a person may try to switch their drink of choice or take some time off from drinking, but sooner than they realize, they are as boiled as an owl. Some alcoholics are bipolar, some even psychopaths, but many are completely normal except in their relationship to liquor. Such people are often capable, intelligent, and friendly. The one thing that holds all of these people in common is that they cannot quit drinking, which causes them to develop a craving for alcohol. The only solution is complete abstinence, which is a tough road for most of us. Because of this, most physicians believe that alcoholics are doomed. Dr. Silkworth describes one of his patients who had lost everything in his life and only lived to drink. The man agreed to attend Alcoholics Anonymous, and 1 year later, he had been transformed from a trembling, despairing, nervous wreck into a man brimming over with self-reliance and contentment. He seemed like a completely different man. Silkworth describes another helpless patient who had lost hope, who thought that treatment was a waste of time because he was doomed. In addition to suffering from chronic alcoholism, he was also deeply depressed. The man was doubtful when Silkworth recommended he try a moral psychology. Years later, Dr. Silkworth said that he was a fine specimen of manhood who never took a drink again. Silkworth concludes his letter by advising alcoholics everywhere to read this book, because even if they come to scoff, they may remain to pray.